As a former trumpet player, there's a parsha, a section of this week's parsha, Behaalotecha, that strikes the right chord with me, or toots the right horn. The Torah tells us, Hashem gives Moshe a commandment, Asei lecha shtei chatzotzros, kesef miksha tasa oisam. You got to make yourself 2 trumpets. And these trumpets held lots of functions. One of them was to gather the people. When Moshe had a proclamation to make, when he wanted to gather the people, he'd blow the trumpets. If he wanted to gather just the Zakenim, he'd blow 1. Wanted to gather everybody, blew 2. Till the time to believe, blew the trumpets. But it's interesting. It says, Asei lecha shtei chatzotzros. The Torah tells us that Moshe, you built for yourself 2 trumpets. Just say, build 2 trumpets. What's lecha? So Rashi picks up on it, and he says, number 1, it's got to be mishalcha. You got to pay for it. Sorry, you can't take this out of the treasury. You got to pay for these trumpets yourself. First lesson. Second thing, Rashi tells us, Ata oiseh umishtamish bahem v'loi acher. It is only you who can use these trumpets, to the exclusion of the next leader of the Jewish people. The next leader of the Jewish people, Yehoshua, he'll have to make his own trumpets. Take your trumpets, bury them. They're not to be used by anybody else. Why not? What's wrong? The mouthpiece is off. So put in a new mouthpiece. Why can't Yehoshua use Moshe's trumpets? So I heard a fascinating, really it's the penetrating point. I'll tell you a little story first. I've been looking for new methods of education. You got to get people excited about learning. And you're looking at the same Black Amar, maybe it gets a little boring, or you got to find some new ways of education. So I met with someone named Rabbi Jonathan Rietti. He's got lots of different tools, different methods he uses to educate and teach Emunah and different things. And he was teaching some principles. He was showing his wares to some principles, and they were like, "Hey, this is not the way we learned Emunah. I never learned Kar. We had Emunah. The Rebbe told you to have Emunah. Your parents told you to have Emunah. You had Emunah. You had a whole new method." So they went to one of the Gedolim here in America, and they asked, is this the way you teach Emunah? So he tells them, I don't get you. He says, the Yetzer Hara, every day is coming up with new tools and new ways to take our children away. We can't come up with some new tools to keep them in. This is the point of the chatzotzros. You see, Torah never changes. Torah is always the same. But the way it's delivered has to change. The point of the chatzotzros was to gather the people and wake them up and say, hey, come listen to the Torah. Every leader has to have his own trumpet. Every teacher, every generation needs its own tools, how we're going to get the message across. The message doesn't change. The kalim, the tools we use to proclaim that message, they must change. Have a great Shabbos.